Yo, what is up? MLBtheshow.info here, and today we're going to be talking about how you can get PXP the fastest for programs, pitchers, hitters, and some strategies to 1-out-of-1 players. Personally, I've 1-out-of-1 Rob Dibble in 5 hours, grinded out 2 1-of-1s for a friend of mine, and to give you a basic overview, PXP is getting through just playing the game with specific players, but today we're going to be going over some ways to optimize it for those specific players. So let's just jump right into it. You may have clicked on this video because you do not care anything about getting parallel 5s, but you want to know how to get PXP the fastest to complete your programs, and that's totally fine. I mean, if you look at the most recent player of the month, you needed 4,500 PXP among your pitchers to get it done, which is absolutely insane, but we're going to find ways that we can make you complete this program faster among all the other ones that come out in the future. So over time, we've only seen PXP matter in 2 different programs. The Player of the Month ones where you need to complete these PXP missions as you do them, and the World Baseball Classic where there's a bunch of PXP missions as you go on. As you go through this, you want to be able to pick hitters and pitchers. You always want to have one pitcher on the bump and as many hitters as possible when you're doing this, so you divvy up the responsibilities and complete these PXP missions as fast as possible. The last thing you really want to do is in a program like the most recent May Player of the Month is be stuck with a bunch of pitchers since there's 4,500 PXP from pitchers that you needed, and then there's a really hard time for you to get all those PXP for the pitchers. Since you can only have one pitcher pitching at a time, the way I was able to get pitchers to get their PXP at the same time is to have one of them pitch, whichever had the lowest PXP, and the rest of them would pinch hit to get PXP slowly. Some got some hits, some got out, but they all got PXP throughout the games. Regardless if you're using a pitcher or a hitter to get PXP and they happen to be in your lineup, they should always be at the top of your order to get as many at-bats throughout the game as possible. Now that we covered the basics, we're going to talk about how we can get PXP the fastest for pitchers. Now the team build is one of the most important parts if we want to get PXP for our pitcher the fastest. We want to get out as fast as possible to allow our pitcher to pitch the most. So we've set our lineup with a bunch of players like Derek Jeter, Dee Gordon, Tony Gwynn, and Kevin Kiermaier, as to name a few, who have a decent amount of speed, decent amount of fielding, a lot of contact, and low power, so that they're getting balls in play. Half the battle while pitching is actually getting the quickest outs as possible, which is why it's important to pick specific players on offense. We're contact swinging with our hitters, so we put the ball in play on our first hit. And right here, we're actually going to leave Dee Gordon on first base, so the opposing pitcher pitches out of the stretch, and it's a faster animation from the bump to home. Again, we're going to contact swing and we're going to put it in play. We have runners on first and second, and we're going to set up for a triple play on the third swing. So we hit the ball in play here, and I'm going to hold the runners in between the bases so they get tagged out, and that will end the inning right here on 3 pitches, which is as fast as we can go for this. Get tagged out, and we go now to the pitching end. One of the important questions you need to ask yourself is, do you have a starter or do you have a reliever? Many starters are forced into the motion where they cannot quick pitch and they need to release the ball all the way down. Rob Dibble is a reliever who can't quick pitch at all, so we're going to intentionally walk our first batter so his quick pitching is enabled. So if you don't know how to quick pitch, you have to select your pitch first, hold down L2 or LB if you're on Xbox, and then you pitch as normal, which creates a really fast animation to get the pitches over the plate. And you are sacrificing accuracy, but since you are playing the Oakland Athletics, which suck, and you're throwing 103 miles per hour, it really doesn't matter what you throw. They're going to get out every single time, and you're going to have a lot of no-hitters, a lot of immaculate innings doing this. And I like to finish it off with a breaking ball away because they don't really make contact that often. This guy's laying off 2 pitches. We'll just bring back fastball, and rookie difficulty seems like it got hard today. This is one of the number 1 reasons why you're not going to want to play on higher difficulties, because if he's taking 6 pitches on rookie, veteran, and all-star for the increased multiplier is not going to help that much. It's going to waste you a lot more time and not going to be worth it in the end. So we'll try slider down low, and he swings way too early, and that is how you're going to do pitchers. You're going to rinse and repeat the strategy of contact swinging and quick pitching. When doing your team build, you're also going to want to have the DH at the first spot in your lineup, and this will come into play later. Since we have the DH at the top of our lineup, what we're going to go is we're going to go to our substitutions and pick the pitcher that we have on the mound. We have Nasty Boy, or Rob Dibble, pitching for this game, so we're going to make him hit. And even if he gets out here, that's an extra 10 PXP and can go up to 40 if he hits a home run, or 55 for every RBI if he hit a grand slam. And just like that, we got 15 PXP for Rob Dibble right there. Regardless if you're using a reliever or not, stay the full 9 innings. If you get a win, a complete game shutout, that's an extra 70 PXP on top of everything you've already done. You get 360 just for pitching, extra 10 for strikeouts, and then the 70 for the complete game shutout win. Now that we wrapped up the pitching portion of doing PXP, let's get into the hitting portion. Now when doing your PXP for hitters, what you really want to do is you want to have the number 1 hitter that you want paralleled. Let's go Eric Davis. And the rest of your lineup should be players that you think can get on base the best and bat around to the first batter again in the top of the first inning. The pitcher you want to have is Stephen Strasburg because he can quick pitch and it'll make it faster going in and out of the menus, which you're going to do a lot to get hitter PXP. The team you're going to play against is the Rockies on away, and you can set to any time. I feel comfortable with October 7 p.m. to see the ball the best. And right here, Stephen Strasburg at the top, so you're not scrolling all the way down to a reliever to quick pitch if you happen to not bat around in the first. So one of the big things you need to take note is that we're always going to get a lefty unless we change the overalls a bit on our team. So that's a good matchup for Eric Davis. And if we don't get a extra base hit here, like a home run, I'd otherwise quit because it's not worth it to stay for a single 15 PXP and then the run scored for a total of 20. That's not worth it in my mind. Additionally, I kept my runner at second base and did not try to go to 3 because we don't need dumb outs on the base paths, and potentially on a ground ball, I can glitch my way on to prevent an out and keep runners safe. So it's completely normal to not make it through the top of the first. It'll happen a lot. If you're going for a parallel 5, you're going to not make it through the top of the first every single time. The benefit of Stephen Strasburg is he has quick pitch as a starter, so you're getting through the menus fast. You're getting his quick pitch. He has a nice curveball. I mean, they tanked me right there. So I am using the 89 overall Stephen Strasburg, and maybe you need the 97 because these Rockies are doing damage on me right now. So I sent the runner back to third there because every single RBI a player gets is an additional 5 PXP. So in the case of a home run right here, Eric Davis is going to get 55 PXP compared to the 40 he had on his leadoff home run. And we'll just send him around the bases as much as possible. Let's hope the game awards us with some nice RBIs or whatever. We don't care. We're quitting right after that. So you can go in and check right after the game ends how many PXP points you got. Eric Davis got 65 for the home run and then single and RBIs afterwards. 1-of-1s are not easy to get by no means, but there are some things you can do, like planning accordingly for when specific items drop in game to instantly get that player and start grinding away at it. One of the big things that people don't normally grind is tops now. A lot of people have not gotten these guys super fractured at all. And it is one of the most uncontested things you can do. 2 or 3 of these guys. This guy, Blake Perkins, nobody even has him red paralleled after a few days. AJ Smith, only 2 have gotten him P5'd. So there's a lot of uncontested runs you can make using tops now. Additionally, if you're going for a hitter, you can call on a friend to take over for an hour, log into your account, because it might take up to 10 hours to do it. So getting some help, by no means take no shame in it, get some help. And if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, down, bye.